Elizabeth, New Jersey, twice in 6 weeks and only about a mile apart, the scene of death from the skies. Intensive investigations follow up the latest crash. A twin-engine Convair of this type, en route from Buffalo to New York, making an instrument landing approach to Newark Airport. Lying just 3 miles from downtown Elizabeth, the airport is one of the few in the country equipped with radar landing aids. Technicians were following the plane on their radar scopes as it descended through heavy rain and a 400-foot ceiling. Operation men notified the pilot he was drifting to the right, when suddenly the plane disappeared from radar trackers altogether. Another crash into the crowded city, straight into a cluster of houses. 29 people dead, 23 of them aboard the plane, and at least 6 others inside the wrecked and burning dwellings. One of the dead passengers, former U.S. Secretary of War Robert Paterson. It was thought by some that the plane may have lost an engine and plunged nearly straight down. But all of this in the same town where less than 6 weeks before, 56 other people died in a similar air crash. By daybreak, the full extent of damage can be seen. The fatal plane narrowly missed striking a girls' high school just across the street. As experts once again began probing for clues to the tragedy, the people of Elizabeth, New Jersey angrily called for action. Action to end forever this umbrella of danger under which they live.
Well, the first I remember is I was talking to my girlfriend over the telephone when I saw these awful flames coming from the sky. So I told her I had to hang up. I hung up immediately and ran to the window. As I looked out the window, I saw this plane falling on the building. I didn't see it come from the sky, but I saw it hit the building. I couldn't distinguish whether it was a plane or not, but I knew it wasn't lightning because I saw this huge mass of steel all in flames hitting the building. It had just hit it when everything went into flames. My name is Joanne Hicks, and I live on South Street about 4 doors away from where the crash happened. At the time I was talking on the telephone to my girlfriend when I saw these awful flames in the sky. I told her I had to hang up, and I ran into the other room and looked out the window. And as I did, I saw this mass of steel coming down on top of the house. It was all a mess of flames, and it just hit the house when everything went into flame. My father called us in the meantime and told us to put on our coats and run outside. My younger sister, my younger brother came with me, and I took my dog with me. My mother and father, we all ran outside. This woman who lived 2 doors away from the crash came with her 2-month-old baby in her arms and a 2-year-old son. They just had their house clothing on, and they came running into our house. So we went back upstairs. I came out again, and my dad ran up the corner. About 3 minutes after the crash had occurred, he and some firemen started to pull some boards out of the fence which surrounded one of the buildings. When they got there, they started to play the hose on the blaze. The next thing I know, I saw a lot of smoke, and I could no longer see my father, but it was all, he was completely covered with the smoke. Meantime, my father called and told us to put our coats on and run towards the river. That's the Elizabeth River. It's right down the corner from where we live, at the end of the block. My younger sister, my younger brother, mother, my father, and I ran out of the building, and I took my puppy with me. When we got outside, we noticed the flames weren't coming near our house. We went back in again with other neighbors who lived closer to the crash. My father went up the corner, and I stayed outside. Dad got with some firemen, and he's tried to pull some of the boards out of the fence, which was surrounding one of the houses. When they did, they started to fight the blaze.
Well, my name is Mr. Roman. I live 2 doors away where the accident occurred. I was sitting down on a couch reading the paper, and I told my wife an airplane sounded kind of low. All of a sudden, I heard the crash. I ran out in my stocking feet with my overcoat. The first thing I saw was the building in flames, and I seen a child coming down the stairs. It was in flames. I took my coat off, wrapped it around her, and as I was running across the street, I tripped with her. I finally took her over and put her into the Baton High School building. My name is Mr. Roman. I live about 2 doors away from where the airplane crashed. I said to my wife, the plane seems kind of low. And all of a sudden I heard the explosion. I ran outside. And then I got outside, I seen this child come running down the stairs, and she looked like a human torch. She was burning, her clothes was burning, her hair was burning. I immediately took my coat off and wrapped around her and took her over into the building across the street.
My name is Mrs. Roman. My name is Mrs. Roman, and we were all excited here all over this awful noise, and we knew it was an airplane crashing. Kind of thought it was in our own house here. And we were so wild with screaming that I quickly wrapped up my babies, and a couple of them had their shoes on and the other one didn't. And I wrapped up the blankets, and we all went to one of our relations' house. And I guess we were just so excited, we just didn't bother about anything else but just saving ourselves.